Hey guys, it's Trevenant Forest here, and today this will be week 7. Yeah, week 7 of the NPL. This week I take on Togevoir and the Portland Timburrs. Uh, so looking at their team, Mega Glade, Superior, Milotic, Celebi, Togekiss, Jolteon, Starmie, Bisharp, Hydreigon, Regirock, and Drapion. So, just a quick glance at his team looks very threatening, especially with the Serp, the Drapion, and the Hydreigon and the Bisharp. Like, he has 4 things that can probably sweep me just on their own. So I need to really watch out for that, especially Serp, because if it gets to +4, it's pretty much over unless I bring like an offensive ace elf. If I don't get there, it's well over. So I need to watch out for that. If I don't watch out, I could very well lose. So why don't we get right into the team I am bringing against him. So first off, we have specially defensive Charizard with a it's got enough speed to outspeed Adamant Bisharp by 1 point. It's let's see about it. It's HP, so it doesn't take half from rocks. It can switch in rocks 2 times. Well, it doesn't take even amount. Special Spit F, because I can live easily, even a Life Orb Dragon Pulse, I could easily live that even after Leaf Storm damage, just because it's so bulky with Spit F. Next we have AV Magnezone, another kind of check slash counter to, it's really counters Serp as long as Serp isn't running, it's not at +4 and it doesn't have HP ground, so that's a switch in. Also switch into Togekiss into, it basically switches into all of his top three defensive mons as long as Celebi isn't running Earth Power. Volt Switch, Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt, HP Ground because it hits the Jolteon just in case he wants to bring it. And honestly, it's not that bad of an option versus his team. He only has like one thing that is immune to HP Ground, and that's the, actually he has 2 because he has Togekiss and the Hydreigon, but it's honestly not that bad versus his team. I thought he would bring Jolteon, but even if he didn't, again, not that bad versus his team. Next we have kind of a special Umbreon set, not like special in the actual meaning, but it is a specially defensive Umbreon with Moonlight, Heal Bell. It's literally just there for team support, Heal Bell. And you'll see Sucker Punch and Foul Play. Now, those could come into play actually. Sucker Punch, I mean, honestly, I thought he'd bring a lot of things with sub, so I didn't want to bring Toxic. So yeah, that's why I brought that. Next I'm running a really bulky Slurpuff spread, Belly Drum, Aromatherapy, because I really don't need return except, not risking play roughnesses. Enough speed to outspeed Scarf Togekiss if he so chooses to bring it. I really didn't feel like he would either bring Scarf Hydreigon and I don't really want to run max speed just to speed tie with Hydreigon, and I didn't want to run Jolly, so I was like, so yeah, Belly Drum Slurpuff does a lot versus his team. He basically, the only thing that doesn't get O-code after rocks is Regirock, but Regirock kind of loses out to Magnezone. It kind of just gets O-code, or at least it gets a lot of damage on it. Next we have kind of just standard Alomomola, knockoff Skull, Protect, Wish. Wish is there for just to support the team. Basically, Alomomola and Umbreon are there just to support the team. Alomomola with Wish and Umbreon with Heal Bell. Also can get off some status with the Skull, can knock off items, all that good business. And here, I'm running the same exact ASL set I ran against Jolt last week. That is the Reflect, Light Screen, Stealth Rocks, Explosion, Light Clay set with the exact same EV spread. I really don't. At first, I was really debating between banded Azelf and just like sub offensive Azelf in the end. I was like, I really don't want to bring Reggie Steele on this team. I thought it would be like not the best thing because it kind of just is set up fodder for Serp. So, and Braviarys can run Earthquake, Bisharp can get low kick, let's see, Gallade just shits on it, so I have to, yeah, I didn't want to bring it. So Azelf is my means of rocks. So yeah, so next we will have the battle coming up, and I will see you guys there. Alright, and here is the battle. Now, I will be on the other side because, again, Showdown seems to like to screw around. Me and Toge have been looking forward to this match for basically way before even the season started. Like, ever since the schedule came out, even before our Mons, we got our Mons. Because we became fast friends and we became basically rivals. And I know since I'm the best in the league right now, and he's, with a win here, he could really push his playoff hopes, keep them alive, and actually, like, kind of be right in that playoff chase, even though he's not doing the best this season. So yeah, he's definitely looking to win this game. I'm looking to win this game to stay atop the league and my conference, because Fog won't upload his videos, but he's been struggling lately. So with a win, I can really push myself way ahead in my conference. Not way ahead, but I can really make a strong stand here. And if I can, with a win here, I would have a 6-1 first half, which would be great going into my really tough second half, because I still have to play Fog twice. Fog and Colorado Avalanche. I still have to play Razor and the New York Metane twice. So that's 4 conference games I still haven't played. So I need to make sure I go into that second half really on a really good roll, like I am right now, 6-1. I also got to play the second best team in the league in K2-2 and the Detroit Gateway. So again, hoping to go in there 6-1. So that is what I'm hoping for. And so looking at the team, he brought Serp, Hydreigon, and Bisharp, which I expected. Mega Glade, I expected. Although I expected more, like, instead of Starmie, I would have expected, probably would have expected maybe Milotic, because that would have been another stop to Charizard, or at least another check. But, yeah, I am expecting at least one Scarfer on his team, whether it's the Togekiss, the Starmie, or the Hydreigon. Probably leaning more towards the Starmie because it guarantees outspeeds Unburdened Slurpuff, and he knows how much Belly Drum Unburdened Slurpuff does to his team, so I'm expecting him to probably bring Scarf Starmie, but it could be Scarf Hydreigon as well. So why don't we get right into the battle? So we both get up our lead rockers. With him getting up his rocks right here, it almost confirms for me that he is Focus Sash. So instead of trying to get up Light Screen here, it's not going to really do that much for me because it's only going to be 5 turns instead of 8 turns. I just go ahead and go right for the big boom, the explosion. Thankfully, he doesn't have Swords Dance because that would have been bad. But since he's lead, he probably has Stealth Rocks over Swords Dance. So yeah, I'm just going to take the opportunity to go into Charizard. I know I'm going to take Rocks damage almost half basically. So I know I can get off a free roost. So right here, he goes in Starmie. I'm going to switch into Magnezone to take the Surf, and I do take it really well. Judging from that damage, it is modest, and since it's not Life Orb, I'm assuming that it probably is the Scarfer, because it didn't have leftovers, and the only reason you run modest Starmie is if you have Scarf on it. Now right here, I know I'm kind of getting behind, but right there, first of all, that Volt Switch did a lot. Analytic Volt Switch, even resisted a lot. But I also got a crit, and this crit was kind of important because it really kind of made his Hydreigon lose its usefulness a lot, just because it turns out to be Life Orb, Hydreigon, and now with Rocks Up, he already takes 12% per turn. So really, if he switches out once, he only has 3 Life Orb recoils. If he doesn't switch at all and just sacks it here, he has a max of 4. If he switches it in twice, he only has 2. So really, it makes Hydreigon so much less of a threat. And looking at his team, besides Superior, this thing was probably the most threatening to my team. So that is awesome. I apologize for the Volt Switch crit, but for me, it's just really awesome. So I go into Umbreon here because even if he does have invested Life Orb Superpower with the Reflect Up, it's not going to do anything. So he makes a very smart play and goes into Togekiss to take the Foul Play, and it takes basically no more than Leftovers damage. So I'm just going to take the opportunity to go right back into Magnezone, which only takes 7% from the Air Slash, so I can stay in all day. I can just click, right here I decide to click Flash Cannon over Volt Switch, which is great because that just means Superior is a lot more weak. Right here I probably should have gone for the Volt Switch, or at least a Thunderbolt, because Thunderbolt probably still would have killed. But unfortunately Bisharp lives with 7%. Luckily I don't get the special defense drop on the Flash Cannon, so I'm just going to go into Umbreon to tank the knockoff. Here he gets a crit flinch, and that sucks, but we're going to see that Sucker Punch from Umbreon actually finishes off Bisharp, and Umbreon in his first game of the season gets a kill with Sucker Punch, so that's amazing. Now here, instead of Sucker Punch seems like a good play, but since he's already revealed Leftover Superior, I don't want to risk him getting up a sub or a Leech Seed, so I just go for Foul Play, and he does get the +2. But since I'm Spadef Charizard and he is Leftovers, I know I can take any one hit as long as I crit, and I can get off the Fire Punch and finish it off, so Charizard gets a kill. Now here, it's a possible misplay, because he could have just killed Charizard and it would have been dead right there, and he would have been up 4-3. But he just spins Rocks away, so I'm able to get up a Roost. Now here, I have Toxic, because mainly it was for the Milotic, but he didn't bring it, so Toxic is still good against Togekiss, so I'm just gonna Roost up here, and he actually is carrying the Encore on Togekiss, so a very smart move. He knew I had to go for Roost there, or risk dying to the next Air Slash. So right here, since Charizard's, I don't want to just get set up on by Gallade, I go right into Magnezone, and here I'm predicting him like just going for SD or something. He actually reveals to be sub, so he's actually sub SD, and I predict him twice in a row as he goes into Starmie, and I click Volt Switch, because I know Volt Switch would probably be almost enough to KO the Gallade from there. So I'm able to take out the Starmie. Another possible misplay on his part, sacking Starmie, because it still did a lot. Here I predict him to go for Draco. I predict him not to go for Draco, because I have 2 switch-ins to Draco. So I do make the smart play and stay in, and well, not smart, but the risky play, and I stay in and take it out with a Fire Punch. Right there, I don't go for Roost because I didn't want to get Encored. Possible misplay on my part. I probably could have roosted and been fine, but I didn't want to risk it. So I just go for the Fire Punch to get off damage, and here he's hoping to get like 4 flinches in a row, but he doesn't, and he just dies to the Volt Switch. It was my safest play, just going for Volt Switch. And here, since he is sub SD, unless he's carrying he's probably carrying like, he's either carrying Dual Stab or he has Knockoff. So right here, he needs like a triple miss. And Slurp Puff, the only other time I ran Slurp Puff, I've only used Play Rough Slurp Puff once, and I've only used Play Rough with Slurp Puff once this year, and it missed. So he's hoping that it can miss every time, like it's done this season, but he keeps on setting up sub, hoping for Play Rough miss, but it is pretty much over. He knocks off my item, so I get my Unburden anyway. And I just finish off the game with a Drain Punch, and Slurp Puff picks up a kill, and yeah, it's a 3-0 in my favor, which is amazing because I felt like Toge probably had the best team matchup against me out of any team in the league. Even like the better teams, even though he wasn't doing great, he still had a really good team matchup. He had like probably 4 things that could sweep me. Unfortunately, that hurt him that he had so many things because he didn't know which would be the most effective versus me, and he had to risk bringing something that wasn't as effective as sweeper as maybe something else like Drake Down probably would have done a lot of work, but unfortunately he didn't have room for it because that means he couldn't either bring the Stealth Rock Bisharp, which he needed Rock for, and he didn't want to bring Regirock, so he needed Rock with Bisharp. He needed something that could switch into Charizard, so I couldn't just click Outrage the whole time if I did bring Outrage. He needed a setup sweeper. He needed something to outspeed Unburdened Slurpuff with Hydreigon. Hydreigon was probably one of the most threatening. The second most. He needed these two because these two were probably the most threatening things against my team. So really, he just didn't have room to bring anything else. So yeah, that is going to move us, in fact, to 6-1 with a plus 21 differential. That is the best record and differential in the league. I think I'm tied with somebody for best differential, but they don't have as good as a record as me, so that's why I'm #1 in the league, standalone. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna do a mid-season Atlanta Braviarys podcast, just a review in the first half, kind of previewing the second half, and looking at like MVP candidates I have on my team, or the MVP for my team for the first half, just my team. But yeah, I'm really excited next week to kick off the second half of the season. We have to play a very tough game, probably maybe our toughest game of the season, against a fellow conference mate and probably the most threatening team to a conference win for us in the Colorado Avalanche. Now they've lost 2 in a row, and they're reeling after they were really going into week 6. They were tied with us 4-1 at +16, but they've been reeling ever since. They've lost to 2 1-win teams in a row. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can pull it out. It's going to probably be a very stalling match as we both have dedicated stall bonds on our team. I have like Cress, UMBREON, Slurpuff, not Slurpuff, Alomomola, and he has Chansey, Amoonguss, Slowbro. So it probably won't be the most entertaining game, but you know, I'll try to. It doesn't matter whether it's entertaining or not. You just gotta win. So thank you guys for watching. Go check out Toge. He's an amazing battler. He only got into Pokemon about a year ago, but he's still an amazing battler. Yeah, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.